Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I'm What If Deku, and today we are doing What If Deku was Isekai into a militaristic world. Let's get it on. Deku never struck me as a character that was serious or like really about his values. I mean, he had never stood for anything in my mind. I mean, he was the most generic Isakai character. I mean, anime character you can find. Protagonist, at least. That's why when he's Isekai, we're talking about getting thrown into a new world, a new life. Everything in your world has changed. It's not like you go into this world thinking that, oh, everything will be fine. I'll just go back to my normal life after this. They don't know that. No Isekai person knows that. And Deku has such a low sort of self-esteem, such a low knowledge, no pride in himself, that he would break before anything. So when Deku's sitting there, as the clock strikes 12, his green eyes glimmering off of the lightning striking in the distance, his homework half done. He never thought he would complete it until the end of the night. It seems like he wouldn't complete it for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. He only thought that figuratively, at least. He closes his eyes, drifting off to sleep, but awaking again in a different mindset, in a different realm. He wakes up in a field, this lovely field, coursing across the land, unending, the rolling, sort of tumbling hills, small little ferries and field rollers, things that would roll down fields of wheat, collecting them on its side, collecting them into hay bales as they live in the middle of it, using the hay bales as protection. These cute little guys that are tall and slim, looking like hot dogs after they're all rolled up, almost dancing on the wind. It was beautiful. Of course, a dream is only a dream, right? Was it? He reaches out to one of those, expecting to go straight through it and wake up. But as his gloves touch the tips of the fairy's head, the fairy looks to him. Its mouth starts to widen as this black hole emerges from it, consuming his hand and consuming the whole world as all of it starts to suck into it. The whole world getting consumed by this never-ending, expanding black hole. And he's left in darkness. He opens to find metallic surface he's on, one edged with sigils all around in a spiral-like fashion. This room's artistically, Catholic. It's colored paints and, painted glass and all sorts of religious texts on the walls does not resemble of his own world, though close to it by itself, until he finally gets a glimmer of light, a flame conjured by magic, as a magic circle that rose below it. He would soon figure out. It lights up the rest of the cathedral this massive cathedral, spanning almost 100 feet up into the air, not until it reached its peak at least. Coupled with different hallways expanding out from it, it was a massive centerfold of all of it. As hundreds of priest souls rise into the air and disperse, it seemed like he was born out from them. The main priest, one now withered like an old skeleton, looks to the young Deku and reaches out his hand. "Welcome, traveler. I assume you have traveled far to come here." As Deku just kind of gets up and stares at him like, "Where am I?" "That is not the question you should be asking. Is what are you?" He grabs on to the hand as the priest brings him to his feet. He is surprisingly strong for an old man. "Yes, well, I do workouts." Wait, he can hear what I'm thinking? Yes, it's a bit of a privacy challenge. However, us in this regular day have to deal with that type of stuff. Magic has slowly taken up everything. Now, we must get you inside before, as then 2 shots are fired straight at straight near Deku. These magical bullets bounce off of the priest's shield that the priest creates in his left hand, protecting Deku from a headshot that would have split his skull in half. The other bullet aims straight at the priest, knocking out the priest's leg as he tells Deku to run as fast as he can. Deku does such in a random direction, where the priest had at least pointed. He runs down hallways as priestess and different monks and other stuff like other religious people come out of their different labs as they find Deku running down the hallways, screaming bloody murder as as he reaches another wall. He starts knocking on it, saying that the priests have been killed. As then a man, very large in stature, of a lion mane, opens the door. His booming voice echoing down the hallway, hurting Deku's ears. "What is it? Yes. Oh, I see the new recruit." As all the rest of them are like, all of them just start busting out into laughter. As they all are, he finds that they're all laughing at him. The priest, the old priest man, opens up the door, as he now grows back into like a normal, young-looking man, almost as old as the king, you might say, but a little younger, just a little bit of artificialness in it. He was a sort of pretty boy, you might say, artificially made from magic to look better. "Oh, so humorous. I'm so sorry. It was just a bit of a joke. Do not worry. We just summoned you and we wanted to play a little trick on you. Don't worry." As, this very serious young girl walks through the door, holding a rifle in her left hand that is almost 2 times her size. This is little Isakai. She's actually one of our best assassins. You'll have to excuse her. She didn't mean to aim straight for your face, naughty girl. As he waves his finger in her face, as she just bites his finger, he's like, "Ah!" He like screams super loud as like he like pulls off his finger, like, "What have you done?" As then he just starts, bleeding everywhere, and he's like, "Just kidding," and then grows back his finger. Oh, magic truly is a wonder. As Deku's like, "Right." The girl doesn't even look at Deku. She's just kind of like, she doesn't know where she is right now. She's just really bored with the whole situation. "You do this every time with all of them." "Oh, anyways, you should meet the new recruits. The other recruits, at least." As, he starts following the sorcerer wizard as he has literally zero clue what's happening right now. The king also follows with him, saying, "I haven't seen the new recruits in almost 2 months. I might as well come follow." As this, stormy night turns to night, as they start to make their way over to the other building This secluded from the rest of the world places, Deku starts to ask on their way to the laboratories of the recruits about what exactly, what happened, what's happening in general. Just all of those questions in one. What's happening? He explains that they summoned him using the souls of priests, and basically, this whole entire thing is for a war effort. And Deku's like, wait, a war effort? He's like, oh yeah, we'll teach you how to use guns in a minute. Now meet your comrades, as he opens up the door. And all there is 8 bodies on the ground, dead. Each one dripping with blood. Everyone on their sides, necks twisted in gruesome fashion. Some throats lodged out and strung up like party prizes. One hung up like a piñata, its internals ripped out and thrown onto the floor. Beaten, bruised, and battered. Every single picture of gore reflecting through Deku's mind. It almost traumatizes him. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong room. Sorry. As he closes the door and then opens up the other one. Oh, that's right. You don't have any. As the king's like, oh, that's right. They all died last week. As Deku's like, holy shit, what is happening? He's like, oh yeah, right. The war is really bad. I forgot to mention. He's like, how are you so happy? I'm not even that happy. And I'm a kid. He's like, right, here's your gun. Go off to war. As he's like, teach me first. So he gets this little rundown by the girl that's completely silent. Basically, her pointing at stuff and him figuring it out by himself. She takes him out to a range, which the priest guy kind of helps along with how to use guns, which require magic, that it's infused in the butt stock end of it, and then is sprayed out the tip. As such, guns that are longer are made for sharpshooting, of course, and guns that are made for just general output and literally like the cheapest guns that you can find are just smaller in general. You can find guns that are just wands basically, but shaped like guns for scope. It's literally just a wand with a scope on the end. So, that's cool. But Deku is thrown through this rigorous 1 week training thing because that's the only time that they'll give him. That's what he had negotiated to get. He really needed a lawyer, I'll tell you that. But Deku goes through this horrible training thing with her as she trains him to like not die like the others, as she quotes herself. As then she just throws on like one of the smallest guns that he can find. And then just has to duel her 50 times a day, and then also do just general workouts, because the more that your body is improved, the more that your mana expands. He starts to use his quirk in tune with also using magic, which improves his output greatly. Although he doesn't really want to show this to her, so that she'll still take it easy on him. However, training with each one individually will help him gain strength in the long run anyways. Much better than it would have if he did both at the same time. So Deku's thrown into the fold. He's given a squad assigned to a squad, as on the front lines it's atrocious. Every single day consists of being bombed out by magical mortars and also having to take cover. Deku, however, trying to survive, uses his quirk constantly. Every single day is only him dashing around saving each person that he can find. However, he can't save everyone. At a certain point, he uses his quirk so much that it breaks his body fully. He's crippled for a week, as then, the magic guy comes and visits him and says, "Stop being a pussy," and slaps him on the face, and he gets back into the war. Deku, mad as all hell by this point, as being used as some sort of pawning tool. He was only summoned to this world to fight their battle. How the hell is this his battle? He's only here to, like, not die. That's his only objective. As then he's like, alright, fuck this. As then, like, the one person that he trusted, the sniper girl, just, dies. And then he's just like, okay, enough of this, enough of that, I'm gonna kill some shit, okay? And he just snaps, okay? He just, like, straight up just berserker mode. Basically, he breaks his body within one punch, right? So he spends every single punch blowing up a major city. So basically, after these 2 months, he had risen his power level farther than he could have ever done before. And then basically gained the power to blow up cities with one punch. However, he permanently cripples his arms. Forever. He can't fix that. After the battle, after getting revenge for her death, he kind of just feels empty by this point. He's just so caught up in all this revenge stuff. He's been through the ringer. What can he say? Every single time he's tried his hardest, every single time that he's tried to care for the enemy, he's been backstabbed, thrown away because he wasn't hard enough for this war. Well, fuck that. That's why he snapped. Not for the revenge. No, because her way of life wasn't good enough. No, living his life like this, it was not right. It didn't feel good. It felt like he was being toned as a soldier, and he was. It had almost been a few months while in combat, and he had become a legend on the front lines. Just a saving grace to those who are in need on both sides. He didn't care who he's saving. He was still a hero in his heart. Yeah, he got shit for it by his country, but he doesn't care. Okay? He just rests on a rock next to a seaside bed. This massive waves crashing up against it. This 70-foot drop, and you could already feel the paint spray onto his face. The red drip falls into his pool. Enough, he says. Enough with the wars, enough with the throwing me everywhere. I don't understand. What have I become? He looks to his hands, still stained with the blood. Was it really all worth it? Why does he care, goddammit? He was forced into this. He didn't want to go. He did his best. Did I? I let her die. I let them all die. Remembering the fall of 87. The 86th unit that he was with. The Red Caps. The nicest people he had ever met. They were all forced into this world just like him. He was the first to be summoned. Actually, that's why they lied to him, making him feel like he wasn't just the first, but he was. The first warrior of this generation. And he became a murderer, just like the rest of them. A no good, dirty scumbag. You shouldn't think that way. Whoa! As you know, like, he brings out his hands in a chopping motion, kind of like freaking the frick out. You know, looks forward, and there's this sea maiden. This crowned princess, cloaked in water. This shield around her of light and a mix of a light blue. She was beautiful from the first sight that he saw her. Almost like the silent girl. the greatest assassin of the kingdom. Since she reminded him of that, he let down his guard. Put his hands by his side, but not tucked. He looks up to her and says, "What do you want? Are you a nymph?" "No, I am just a simple watcher of the gods above." And how can I trust that?" "You can't." "Well, thanks." And goddamn. "You're very rude for a human who's gone through so much." "I haven't exactly enjoyed life to this point. It's had me made a shit ton of experiences. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a nice person from now on, you know? Yeah, do that. Please. That's what I came down here to tell you." "You want to tell me to be a nice person?" "Well, more force you." "Force me? Why would you care what I do?" "Oh, they call you the God Warrior, do they not?" "So what? I blew up some cities. I can't even use my arms anymore." "I only put up my arms in defense because you're used to it. Your body automates by itself. Is that correct?" "Yeah, I guess you could say a side effect from war." Sad specimen you are. You see, the gods don't exactly love watching humans suffer like you have. You have killed plenty, yes, but only in your darkest hour when there was no other choice. You could have walked away, however. But you know what they say, the god of rage does not demand. He only does what is commanded of him by the user. Okay, so what are you even doing here anyways? Well, the gods do not like watching you suffer on this beach alone. They want it to be more interesting. Wow, what helpful gods. I know. That was very Okay, what do you want? I want you to come with me into the ocean. That sounds great, but what's the catch? No catch. Just come with me. For how long? I don't know. That depends on how long you want to stay. Now you're speaking my language. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have to you on the second one. See you sometime somewhere. Bye.